Zoe smiles and I hug her. How bad is it? Dawn's watching, I'll tell you later. Adam's straining against the hold Susan has on his straps of his life jacket. This is, Dawn turns to the woman. Is it Dr. Bowman? No, she holds her hand to Suzanne. It's Sandy Bowman. Are you the mother? No, Suzanne says. It's Sandy Bowman. Are you the mother? Oops, I already said that part. My wife has passed away, Dawn says. This is Adam's nanny, Suzanne. And he puts a hand on my shoulder. This is his sister, Lily, and Lily's friend, Zoe. I move out from under his hand. Suzanne is more than Adam's nanny, and I'm more than the center of our universe's sister. How lovely it is to meet you all, Sandy says, beaming at us with the teeth a horse would envy. I'm so happy to be back at the Oceanarium doing the work I love. Kids and dolphins. What more could you ask for? She says. I look at Don like you've got to be kidding me. This airhead is going to make a difference? But he's smiling down at Adam, who's now lying on his stomach on the dock, his arms held out towards Nori. Nori's got a raw-looking cut on the top of her beak. What happened here? I say, pointing to it. Oh, she probably rammed the fencing again, Sandy says. I don't think it's easy for them to see. Though it's been 2 weeks since we were here, Nori obviously recognizes Adam right away. She blows an air bubble and pushes it toward him. He pops it and then squeaks and giggles. Clearly they are already friends, Sandy says to Don, which is wonderful since Nori's had no training. Is it okay to ask? What does that training involve? Zoe's tone is as light and airy as Sandy's. Dawn gives me a look, which I ignore. I like to know too, I say, mimicking Zoe's tone. Well, it's all based on a system of rewards with dolphins. Behaviors we want to encourage are rewarded, and undesirable behaviors or failures to perform go unrewarded. It's quite simple. Zoe was right. They do keep the dolphins hungry. But training at the Cutler Academy is based on a similar system. They don't withhold food, but I remember Elisa telling us that they reinforce behaviors they want the kids to repeat by giving them something they want. Roberto chewed and swallowed his food for just getting a little tickle, if you remember. And Adam wanted anything, dolphin, which would benefit him more. That school or Nori? Or will it take both? What do you guys think? Zoe gets braver. Does that mean poor Nori gets hungry until she gets it right? Not really. They perform best when they're hungry. But, Sandy smiles, dolphins are very smart. They catch on very quickly. Nori opens her beak and lets out a stream of clicks and whistles. See? Sandy says, laughing. Adam is trying to get into the water, straining against the hold that Don has on his life jacket. He doesn't want to wait. He's impatient. Can you blame him? Let's get started, shall we? Sandy says, sitting on the side of the raft. She scrunches her long hair into a ponytail, slips down into the water, which only comes up to her waist. They say that animals are great judges of people. Nori dives beneath the surface, and when she comes up again and she sees Sandy, she's against the fence, as far away from the therapist as she can get. Not a good sign. Adam, sit here, she says, patting the side of the deck. He twists from side to side. Adam, you have got to sit here, she says, putting her hands in. Then he puts his hands in his armpits and plops down on the dock next to her. Adam starts to wail and kick, soaking her wet. Lily? Is it Lily? Will you bring that bucket of fish over here and put it next to your brother, please? Now, Adam, look at me, she says. With her free hand, Sandy turns his head with his chin very gently so that he's looking at her. Adam, look at me, but he won't look at her. Remember, eye contact is very difficult. Nori, would you like to play with Adam? But you need to call her over here, Adam. Can you say Nori? As much as I want my brother to talk right now, I pray with all my might that he doesn't do it. Not today. That would be all Dawn needs to see Nori's fate, if it's not already sealed. I hold my breath. Adam does a raspberry and flaps his hand a little. Nori, Sandy says. Adam starts to rock back and forth. Nori. He kicks his feet, splashing Sandy some more. She wipes her face and catches his ankles. Nori. Adam now twists, breaking her grip on his legs, and falls backward, hitting his head on the dock. He shrieks. Zoe smiles. Suzanne shakes her head. Have you had much opportunity to work with autistic children? She says to Sandy. Sandy then pulls Adam upright and checks the back of his head. It either wasn't as prevalent when I was here in the 90s, maybe, she says. She had to shout to be heard over Adam's screaming. Or if it was, it hadn't been diagnosed at the time. Maybe behavioral issues have a great deal in common with this. Suzanne's eyes flash when she looks at me. Nori's hungry, Adam. Sandy pulls the bait closer. Would you like to feed Nori? Adam is screaming so loudly he's beyond hearing anything that anyone is saying. Dawn looks helplessly at Suzanne, who marches over, scoops him up, and carries him to a nearby bench. She sits and places Adam between her knees. I've seen her do this before. She then applies pressure, gently but firmly, squeezing him between her thighs. Since she came to work for us, she's been reading a lot about autism, especially ones written by Temple Grandin, who has Asperger's syndrome, a high-functioning form of autism. Temple built herself a squeeze box when she was in college. She would crawl in it sometimes if she felt like she was going to have a meltdown. It had solid sides and she could close them down on herself. When Suzanne explained this to me, I told her how Mom used to let Adam sleep in the chest of drawers because it made him feel comfortable. It takes a few minutes, but Adam stops the rhythmic siren-like shrieking, though he continues to cry. Suzanne whispers next to his ear, Nori's watching you. Adam sniffles a little and turns to look at Nori's pool. He's calmed down now. Sandy has gotten out of the water, and Nori has moved nearer toward the raft now. She's upended and is watching Adam. Suzanne lets him go, and he runs to the raft. Sandy claps her hands together. Are we ready to try again? Dawn catches her by the arm. Let's see what happens without making it an exercise. Well, sure, we can do that. We can't expect miracles the first time out. She laughs. So Adam sits and scoots on the edge of the raft. Nori slides her head up against his. He strokes her cheek and then gets curious about the hole on the top of her head. When he gets on his knees to look inside, she closes it, then opens it again, luring him closer. Adam puts a hand on either side of her blowhole, leans over, and cocks his head like he's going to put his eyes in the hole or something. Dawn reaches to stop him at the same point. He falls back, giggles, and begins to pet her again, murmuring incoherently as Nori blasts him in the face with a puff of air. I've been giving Zoe a blow-by-blow, and when I tell her what Nori did, it dawns on me. Adam got the joke that she played on him the other day. Zoe realizes it too. Her lips compress, and she turns away and walks. From the other side of a high board fence, I hear a girl's voice shouting, "Have your picture taken petting a dolphin, only $50. Until tomorrow, boys and girls.